Karachi, May 2025. A 10-story residential building in Gulistan-e-Jauhar came crashing down within seconds. Dust rolled through the streets as screams echoed from the rubble. Rescue sirens wailed, people ran, and within minutes, a quiet neighborhood had turned into a disaster zone. 37 people lost their lives that morning. Dozens more were injured or trapped. And as the dust settled, one truth became painfully clear. This collapse wasn't an accident. It was a failure that had been building up for years. Investigators soon uncovered the grim details. The structure wasn't ancient or neglected. It was barely 8 years old, yet inside its columns and beams lay a fatal secret. Weak concrete, under-reinforced steel, and illegal alterations that had slowly destroyed its strength. The ground floor, originally designed for parking, had been converted into a restaurant. To make space, several load-bearing walls were knocked down, without any structural approval or safety check. It was like removing bones from a skeleton and expecting it to stand upright. When engineers examined the wreckage, the evidence was undeniable. Columns were cracked open, exposing rusted steel. Core samples of concrete showed compressive strength barely reaching 12 megapascals, half of what the building code requires. Reinforcement bars were spaced too far apart, some bent or corroded, some missing entirely. Slabs were overloaded, especially after multiple floor extensions had been added without proper design calculations. The structure wasn't just weak, it was a ticking time bomb. And when the smallest vibration hit, whether from a passing truck or a mild tremor, it failed completely. So, how does something like this happen in the first place? The answer isn't a mystery. It's a system that's been broken for decades. Pakistan's construction oversight process looks good on paper but often falls apart on site. Developers push deadlines. Contractors cut corners. Material suppliers mix low-grade cement and call it standard. Inspections, when they happen at all, are mostly about paperwork, not real safety verification. The result? Buildings that look modern on the outside, but are hollowed out by negligence on the inside. And when negligence piles up, people pay with their lives. But here's the thing. This disaster was avoidable. Completely avoidable. 3 basic steps could have prevented it. First, proper structural verification by a licensed, practicing engineer. Not a rubber stamp, but a real check. Second, mandatory material testing. Every concrete batch, every steel bar, every weld should be verified before it goes into a structure. And third, regular site supervision during critical stages, foundation, slab casting, and final inspection before occupancy. These aren't fancy measures. They're the fundamentals of safe construction. Yet they're skipped every day across the country. Now, this isn't just about big developers. Homeowners and small contractors are equally responsible for understanding what safe construction looks like. If your contractor avoids cube testing or keeps no batch records, that's a red flag. If your structural drawings don't include an engineer's PSE license number, that's another. And if anyone says, "Relax, we've always done it this way," walk away, because buildings don't forgive carelessness. They may stand for a few years, but the flaws are there, waiting. There's also a seismic side to this tragedy. Most of Karachi lies in seismic zone 2B, a moderate risk zone where even small tremors can cause catastrophic damage in poorly designed buildings. Modern codes like NBC 2021 require ductile detailing, confinement reinforcement, and earthquake-resistant layouts. But too many designs are still copy-pasted from old templates with zero dynamic analysis. This isn't just outdated, it's dangerous. Compliance with modern seismic design isn't a technical luxury anymore, it's survival. And then there's the part no code can fix: ethics. Because every code, every inspection, every test depends on people making the right choice. engineers who sign drawings without checking calculations, builders who swap grade 60 steel for grade 40 to save a few thousand rupees, inspectors who look the other way. These decisions, one by one, become tragedies in waiting. Safety begins not with technology, but with integrity, doing the right thing, even when no one's watching. The 2025 Karachi building collapse should not be another headline we forget after a week. It should be a turning point, a reminder that safety doesn't come from luck. It comes from discipline, verification, and ethics. We have the tools, the knowledge, and the codes. What we need now is the will to enforce them. Because the real question isn't why that building fell. The real question is, will we learn enough to make sure it never happens again?